Hello and welcome back to Tetra Football. And 7 goals. 7! What is going on? Spain are absolutely ridiculous. How can you go to the World Cup and score 7 goals in one game? Costa Rica were absolutely embarrassing. You can't be going to the World Cup and conceding 7. Keylor Navas, meant to be a world-class keeper, conceding 7 in the World Cup. And I think some of the goals he definitely could have done better. However, obviously some were down to the lack of quality in the players in front of him, but some of the goals, they definitely weren't the best finish. I mean, even Alvaro Morata was scoring. What more do you want to know? Honestly, Costa Rica, that was one of the worst performances at the World Cup I've ever seen, and definitely the worst one at this World Cup so far. At least when England beat Iran 6-2, Iran actually fought back and showed a bit of fight and actually ended up getting 2 goals. I mean, maybe a dubious penalty, but they still got 2 goals. And honestly, I mean, to be fair to Spain, Gavi, 18 years old, put in a man of the match performance in the World Cup. I mean, he was outstanding. I think for maybe the first 20 minutes, Pedri was standing out. But after that, it was all Gavi. Gavi was just amazing in that game. He was absolutely on fire. Looked absolutely brilliant. He did look a little lightweight sometimes, getting pushed off the ball, but he kept going at it, kept getting on the ball in tight spaces, kept dribbling, kept running at defenders. And there was a quality performance from him. I mean, I did question the Spain lineup to begin with before that game, because obviously there's nothing to question anymore. I mean, not taking Sergio Ramos to play Rodri at centre-back, it did confuse me a little bit, but it paid off. That's all you can say, it paid off. And honestly, I think that overall it did work. I was a bit confused by Marco Asensio up front. I know it was because Morata had flu or something like that, and it ended up a good decision. Marco Asensio, he started well, he scored a goal, maybe 2 even. It's hard to keep track of who scored in that game. And he might be a bit of an old man, but Jordi Alba at left back also looked pretty good for me. I mean, Costa Rica, the only player I really know is Keylor Navas, and he did not look good at all. I mean, he's meant to be the solid backbone of that Costa Rica team, the one standout player, even though he's a goalkeeper. And as a goalkeeper, you need to be playing much more solid than he was. There just wasn't any belief in that Costa Rica team. And after Spain scored 2-3, the game was gone. Like, it was just a training match for Spain at that point, just passing the ball around, trying little flicks and stuff. I mean, poor defending, like Carlos Solier's goal, Navas again. He dives out for the cross, but if you're diving out for the cross like that, you have to catch the ball, and he didn't, pushed it out. Carlos Soler got the goal. I mean, Gavi's goal was brilliant. Like I said, he was an absolute star in that match, but I just can't get over it. 7 goals. 7 in a World Cup match. That is ridiculous. Costa Rica should honestly be ashamed of themselves. You can't turn up to the World Cup and concede 7. And I mean, I know Brazil did it in 2014, but I mean, 1, at least they scored. And 2, Germany 2014 were probably much better than Spain this year. Although nothing should be excused from that Brazil result all those years ago either. But at the moment, this tournament is looking like a tournament of shocks. Japan winning today, Morocco getting a draw against Croatia. Not many people would have expected that. And honestly, this could be a very interesting tournament. Quite a few big teams going out early. Next match then, Belgium versus Canada. Belgium ground out a 1-0 win after, honestly, not deserving it. I mean, the first half, Alphonso Davies for Canada looked brilliant. The second half, didn't see as much of him, but the first half he was electric. I mean, the Canada team, just like Wales against America, they were putting it all into that game. They were putting bodies on the line. There was so much effort. You could see the passion behind playing for their country. And to be fair, if they were more clinical, they could have easily won that game. I mean, they had 21 shots, only 3 on target. That's not what you want to be seeing. And yeah, they were dominant over Belgium for most of the game. And that's why he scored. It was completely against the run of play. And like I said, Alphonso Davies looked really good. A couple of the forwards, Buchanan for Canada, also looked very good, constantly drawing fouls. Some would argue maybe Thomas Meunier should have been sent off for repeat offences, though that would have been harsh. I mean, Alphonso Davies missing the penalty, though, that was really, really bad. It was a really bad penalty, and for Canada, it took away what would have been such a special moment for Canada. Although Courtois, what can you say? He is probably the best keeper in the world at the moment. He's absolutely insane, and he's just been so good over the last year and a half, 2 years. Don't understand why he suddenly decided to be insane again, but he has, and he has been absolutely ridiculous. And Canada, I mean, fair play. They left it all out on the pitch. You could see the work rate, the energy, the passion, and they were just unfortunate. They just lacked that tiny bit of quality that would have got them over the line and got them a historic result against Belgium, who I believe set a record for 8 consecutive wins or unbeaten games in the group stages of the World Cup. And yeah, Belgium, they didn't look that good for winning that game. Their defence looked a bit shaky at times. I mean, unfortunately for Belgium, De Bruyne definitely had an off game. There were a couple of times where the pass should have gone the other way, or he just didn't look quite as good on the ball as he normally does, and that is so rare for De Bruyne to have a bad game. The man is so good, and watching him have a bad game was honestly baffling. But then Belgium, I do have to say, you did grind out the result, and you can't argue with that. That's 3 points on the board at the end of the day and puts them in a good position in that group after the other two teams drew. And one final touch on that game is Trossard did look pretty good after he came on. And also, Onana, silly name, I know, but he also seemed to have a good impact on that game after he came on. So that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.